From the land down under, with the rock at its centre, comes the little Aussie watchman. He predicted 9/11 and he is warning again. Many people have not heard of the prophet who predicted 9/11. From 1999 he kept claiming that judgment on America would start on 9/11. At that time he was convinced it was 9/11 1999, but that's not what he heard. He heard 9/11. Judgment indeed hit on 9/11 as he had been warning. The very phrase 9/11 is now etched in the psyche of not only the US but the whole of the world. However, it is not etched in the way this prophet intended it. It is not etched as a judgment on a wayward nation. His radio show has grown from a fledgling show in 1999 to now, where it is much more recognisable and a lot larger. His name is RIck Wiles, and he is warning again. The wayward nation of America is now increasingly more anti-Christian than it was in 2001. While Trump seems to be holding a banner for the traditional values of the US, his voice is being drowned out by a media hell-bent on driving the nation into the depths of atheistic and marxist depravity. In 1998, Rick met a lady by the name of Leah Mandel at a conference. 3 years later, Leah made a very strange phone call to Rick on August 11, 2001, which was precisely 1 month before the 9/11 attacks. When Rick answered his phone, Leah began telling him that the alarms are ringing. She said, "Rick, something very odd is happening today. Alarm bells everywhere I go today. There are alarm bells ringing, car alarms, burglar alarms, fire alarms, even other alarms. Every place I go, I hear alarms ringing. What's really strange is people are having trouble turning the alarms off. I go into stores, the alarm is ringing. I go into an office, the alarm is ringing, and they can't turn the things off. The Lord told me, call Rick Wiles and tell him, the alarms are ringing, and this time they will not be turned off." 1 month later was September 11, 2001. On August 11, 2017, Rick was driving to his church when suddenly a dead bird fell from the sky and smashed into his windscreen. Then he received a phone call from Leah Mandel, again, saying, "Rick, the alarms are ringing. Everywhere I go today, alarms are ringing. And there's something else, dead birds. I'm seeing dead birds. It seems like everywhere I go, there's a dead bird." Then he realized the date was August 11, the very same date when Leah had called him 16 years earlier with a very similar warning. What it means is more difficult to know. If history indeed repeats, one would expect a major event that drastically affects the USA within the next 3 to 6 months. Dead birds may be a sign of the type of the event it is. For example, a chemical weapons attack, a nuclear attack, an EMP attack affecting airplanes are all possible. My usual position is to be highly skeptical about such dreams and visions because over 90% of visions that I have followed have turned out to be false. I have included this one because Rick Wiles is one of the people, for there is verifiable evidence that he predicted the beginning of America's judgment, 9/11.